our study on equations. So the past 2 days we strictly worked on addition and subtraction. Today we're going to work on multiplication, division. So again, our learning target is I can solve one-step equations. And today our focus is on multiplication and division. So again, we're focused on our inverse operations, operations that undo each other. Okay? So the operation that undoes addition, subtraction. Operation that undoes subtraction, addition. Okay. Operation that undoes multiplication, division.
Hey, you stole.
Okay, and then the operation that undoes division, multiplication.
Look, I've never raised my hand so much in class.
Okay. So those are inverse operations. Today, we are focusing on multiplication and division. Okay, so that is our main focus for today. So, we're going to start today with the division property of equality. And the division property of equality says dividing by the same number on each side of an equation produces an equivalent equation. So you can see we have 3 times x, or 3x equals 24. So the inverse of multiplying by 3 would be dividing by 3. What is 3 divided by 3?
0.
Nope. 1. So when we're dealing with multiplication, our goal is to get a coefficient of 1. Okay? So with multiplication, and division, our goal is to get a coefficient of 1. Okay, so that's always our goal, to make sure we have this 1 as our coefficient. What was our goal with addition and subtraction? To get 0, right? To make that 0 pair. With multiplication division, our goal is to get a coefficient of 1. So we're looking for something that either multiplies or divides to get 1. So in our situation here, 3 got us 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So if I divide by 3 on the left side, I need to divide by 3 on the right. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. Okay? Again, what's our second most important part? Check our answer. So whenever I see x, I'm going to plug in 8. So 3 times 8 equals 24. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 equals 24, so I'm checked out. Good. That's simple.
Easy.
Basically, it's just like the addition, but instead of adding, you're just
Your basic German.
Okay. Ready? All right, so here's our first equation. 5c equals a negative 15. Okay, what does that mean?
That 5 times
5 times c. So I'm going to draw my upside down t.
Oh yeah, upside down
5's being multiplied by c. So what's the inverse of multiplying by 5?
Division.
Dividing. So I'm going to divide by 5. And I'm going to divide by 5. I use division bars. Can you use division signs?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't necessarily like division signs because sometimes I work too fast and I worry about additions, like confusing it as an addition sign if I'm sloppy. So that's why I use the division bars. I don't care what you use. You got to use what you're comfortable with, okay? So 5 divided by 5?
1.
So what am I? So that cancels each other out because it's just 1, and I'm left with C. Negative 15 divided by 5? Not 3.
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. Bless you.
I thought I got the answer. I forgot to put the negative. I'm good.
All right, so to check it, rewrite it. Plug in. Do the math. Okay, so those are our steps for checking. Rewrite it, plug in our value, do the math. So 5 times C equals negative 15. So what did I get for C? So what am I going to plug in whenever I see a C? A C, a C. Positive times negative? 5 times 3?
15.
Alright, what's different about this problem?
On one, there's two positive numbers and two how it's written.
Okay, how it's written, right? Does it matter that our operation is on the left, on the right side, and then our answers on the left side?
No.
No, we're just gonna go backwards, right? So again, we're still gonna draw our upside down T. But we're gonna look here. 9 is being multiplied by X. So it's the inverse of multiplying by 9. Dividing by 9. So I'm gonna divide on the right and divide on the left. Just because it's flip-flop doesn't mean our process changes. So 9 divided by 9? 1x, right? So I just need to bring down my x. 54 divided by 9?
6.
6. So again, rewrite. Plug in, do the math. So I'm going to rewrite 54 equals 9x. What did I get for x?
6.
So I plug that back in. So 54 equals 9 times 6. Equals?
4.
Do my 9 trick.
That's my favorite
54.
math trick of all time.
What?
That's my favorite math trick.
Favorite math trick?
It's so easy to
This
This is
Sometimes it confuses me. Like I don't know which finger to put down.
you just count your fingers 1, 2, 3, 4.
I never learned that. I mean, like,
I'm like,
my teacher
wait,
would give it out,
5,
but I never
1,
used
2,
it.
3,
Yeah?
4, yeah.
Two
Okay.
seconds, no.
That's so weird.
All right, try this one on your own. Negative 5a equals a negative 60.
I could just write would be so happy.
Negative 5a equals a negative 60. So go ahead and try that one on your own.
Do we flip the sign?
Keep the sign. So negative 5a equals negative 60. What's happening to a? Brooke? Very good. It's being multiplied by negative 5. So what's the inverse of multiplying by negative 5? Dividing. Very good. So I divide by negative 5 on the left and on the right. Negative 5 divided by negative 5. Okay. Cancel those out. That gives us our 1. Okay. Negative 60 divided by negative 5. Positive 12. Negative divided by negative is positive. 60 divided by 5 is 12. So again, rewrite. Plug in. Negative times positive. Negative. 5 times 12. Am I good? Okay. How do we feel about division property of equality? Okay. Okay. Alright, so multiplication property of equality. Multiplication property of equality says multiplying by the same number on each side of an equation produces an equivalent equation. Okay. So we're still trying to get that value of 1. Okay. X is being divided by 7. What's the inverse of dividing by 7? Multiplying by 7. Now, why does this work? And why is this okay? So, if I take x divided by 7 equals 9, and I multiply this side by 7, so if I'm multiplying a fraction, how do I multiply a fraction in a whole number? Okay, make it an improper fraction. How do I make 7 improper? Put it under 1. Very good. So put a 1 underneath it. So 7 times x is 7x. 1 times 7 is 7. Okay? So if I do the same thing on this side and multiply this side by 7, 9 times 7 is 63. Right? What's 7 divided by 7?
1.
So what am I left with?
X.
X. So our answer is x equals 63. Okay? Yep.
What? I'm confused.
Can you please explain that again?
Uh-huh.
That don't make sense now.
Oh, I got an itch at the bottom of my foot, but I can't take off my shoe.
Okay?
It's crazy as I got pens.
X divided by 5 equals 7. Okay. So, x is being divided by 5. What's the inverse of dividing by 5? Multiplying by 5. So I'm going to multiply this side by 5 and this side by 5. Can I multiply these as they are? No, because I've got a whole number and a fraction. How do I make 5 a fraction? Put it over 1. So now I have 5 over 1 times x over 5 equals 7 times 5. Okay? 5 times x, 1 times 5. So there's my fraction. 7 times 5 is 35. Okay. 5 divided by 5.
Oh my, that's big brain.
That's so weird, but it makes sense.
Okay. Now, why is this important? Why is this a thing? Okay. Because someone made it a thing, right?
Yeah.
Some crazy dude sitting in his mama's garage on Uru. Garage is probably a thing back then.
See, this is insane.
I feel like it's one This is sitting in his garage going. Mason, I feel like it's one of those smart ink things because
It is.
2/3 x equals 8.
2/3 times x.
2/3 times x equals 8. How am I going to get a 1 out of this? Huh?
Yeah, put a 1.
No.
Put a 1 below it.
How do I, if I multiply a fraction times this, I get 1. What is it?
What?
Okay, let's back up. What's happening to x? It's being multiplied by
2/3.
2/3. Okay, so what's the inverse of multiplying by 2/3?
Divide by.
Okay, so if I divide by 2/3, and I divide by 2/3, how do I divide fractions?
By turning it into a decimal.
Nope,
I'm making a proper fraction.
nope,
You've been putting a 1 under it.
nope.
Oh wait, you flip it.
I multiply by the reciprocal,
Oh, yeah.
right? So if I've got 2/3 divided by 2/3 x, right? And then I've got 8 divided by 2/3. Zach told me I flip them. So I multiply by the
Reciprocal.
reciprocal. Very good. So keep, change, flip. Keep 2/3. Multiply by the 3/2 times x. 8/1 times
3/2.
3/2. 2 times 3,
6.
3 times 2,
6.
6 divided by 6,
1.
8 times 3,
24.
1 times 2,
2.
24 divided by 2.
12.
What?
Okay.
I still don't understand.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Can you please redo that? Hold up. I don't.
Okay, so what did we do? We divided by the fraction, which actually we multiplied by the reciprocal, right? So let's look back. Oh, let's look back over here. What's going on here? Okay. I'm dividing by 5, right? So to get rid of dividing by 5, I did what?
Multiply.
Multiply by
The reciprocal.
5. Okay. What's in front of x right now?
0.0.
So what fraction is this?
1. Divided
No,
by
what's this?
1x over 5.
Okay, so 1/5, right? Do you see 1/5?
Yes.
What's this?
5.
Oh, it's the same. You just
That's
flipped
5.
it.
I flipped it. I multiplied by the reciprocal. Okay.
That's crazy.
So all we have to do is multiply by the
Reciprocal.
reciprocal, or if we only have a denominator, we multiply by the
Well,
we multiply by the denominator. Okay? So okay. X is being divided by 2.
Okay. So, do 2 times x.
Okay. So if x is being divided by 2, I multiply the left by 2 and the right by 2. What happens to these 2's? They cancel each other out. Inverse operation. Multiplying by 2, dividing by 2, they cancel. And you're left with,
X equals 26.
and then 3 times 2 equals 26.
What?
Wait.
That's much more simple.
How did you just go complicated to the easiest thing in the world?
Because I wanted you to see why it works. Well, I'm allowed to multiply by the denominator.
Oh.
Okay? If I multiply both sides by the denominator, I'm okay. But I wanted you to know why I'm allowed to do that instead of just telling you to do it. Okay?
That's something this blogger wouldn't do.
Can we just do this
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So,
do this.
so Zach, shh, that's not nice. We're recording. Okay? Zach just asked, well, how do you check it? Okay, excellent question. Rewrite it.
Oh,
Tuck.
then you would just put your X in, which is.
Yep, plug it in.
And then you just do math.
And now do your math. 26 divided by 2.
Stop. No.
Okay, so it's the same thing. Rewrite it.
No, man, that's too much.
Plug in. Do the math.
I mean,
Okay, so let's look at the next one. A divided by 8 equals negative 8.
What?
Negative 1.
So A is being divided by 8. What's the inverse of dividing by 8? Multiplying by 8. So I'm going to multiply this side by 8 and
This side.
this side by 8. So Bob said, what'd you say, CP?
It will get crossed out.
My 8s cancel. My 8s cancel because those are inverse operation. I'm multiplying by 8, I'm dividing by 8, so those things cancel each other out because that gives us 1. So once they cancel out, I'm left with A. Negative 8 times 8,
Is negative 64.
negative 64.
Whoa, what do you?
okay. I understand that so far.
Until she just like does something crazy where you.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to.
Imagine holding all.
Okay, so rewrite it. Plug it in. Oh, sorry. There you go. Rewrite it.
Do it.
Plug in. Do the math. Negative divided by positive.
It's always a negative.
I did it.
Mason, do you like find a cure to like a deadly disease? No, I was gonna
This man's
do
not
from
much
death after heart attack.
Okay. Alright. U divided by 4 equals 6.
You.
What's 24?
Oh, we're doing that on our own?
Yes, please.
Find out next. Sure.
Did you check your answer, Tucker?
I use like a lot of forms.
You're a really fast writer, man.
Oh, took a day before.
Why does my U look like a 4? I don't know.
I know, right?
I don't know how you're so fast at writing.
Are you ready? See, he understands. He understands the real struggle.
Yeah, bro, I understand.
Good.
Genius. I did it. It looks like mine, but it's not.
Can I do it?
Ready?
I did it.
Yes.
I'm gonna touch it because I think I did so good.
U is being divided by 4. What's the inverse of dividing by 4? Multiplying by 4. So I'm going to multiply left and right. Okay, what happens to my 4s?
They get canceled out.
They cancel out. Okay, so I'm left with U equals 24.
What are you talking about?
24.
Alright.
It took them so long.
Okay. So again, rewrite it.
U over 4 equals 6.
Okay. Plug in.
24 over 4 equals 6. 66
Okay, do the math. 24 divided by 4.
I'm so smart.
Okay, your homework for tonight is to finish the sheet. Okay, now the only thing I need you to do is I need you to change this 63 to a 65. My keystroke, something happened. Okay, so that should be 65 equals 13u, not negative 63. Okay, so again, that should be negative 65 instead of negative 63. If you do negative 63, you're going to get a decimal, a non-terminating decimal, and you're not going to be able to check it. Okay? All right, good job today, guys.
Yay.
Yeah,